Welcome to the Closing Time Podcast. I am Joe Aguiar, along with Chris Sawyer from Annie Mac Home Mortgage. I got an email yesterday from my broker about a couple of new programs that Annie Mac Home Mortgage is offering. They're very impressive programs. So, Chris, who's been here before, I was like, Chris, come over here. Let's talk about this because this is a game changer. Because the market right now is super competitive. We're still seeing really low inventory. And I was just talking to an agent yesterday in my office. Jeff, we'll call him. He has a buyer who they've seen 47 houses. And I said, dude, what are you doing?
Right.
What's going on there? And he said, no, she's just missing out on all these homes for a variety of reasons. And you got a couple of programs that we're going to talk about that will actually make your offer a little bit better, including the cash to keys cash offer, which sounds like a cash offer. It's not, but it's as good as cash.
Yep.
And these days, that's where you want to be. Cash is king.
Cash is king. Absolutely. Every real estate agent would love to have those cash buyers that come in that are going to close those deals quick. You know, that they have the funds readily available to make that transaction happen. But sometimes that's not the case. So what leaves next is regular loan financing, which is obviously what we do. We get them approved. But as you mentioned, having a program like Cash to Keys allows to still have your regular financing approval, but it's actually now backed by a cash offer provided by our private equity company.
One of the concerns for sellers when someone has a regular mortgage contingency offer is that some of those contingents could get hung up, could delay a deal. So generally speaking, when they see cash, they're more apt to take the cash offer. Explain why this is just as good, if not better.
So under the Cash to Keys program that we have, one of the options is the cash offer program. So the cash offer program it allows the client to get its approval through whether it's conventional financing or VA financing. They're going to go to an underwriter to get our platinum pre-approval. Once that takes place, the buyer and the real estate agent will sit down with the home purchase coordinator to kind of go over the cash offer process. But having this cash offer backup allows to waive any mortgage contingencies that might cause a hiccup in regular standard financing to get to the closing table. So let's just give an example. We have a client conventionally approved. They're going to put 10% down and they're moving through the process. And the closing date is March 30th. If everything goes smoothly, we're going to go smoothly with their 10% down conventional financing program. But let's just say something comes along the way that's going to cause a delay on that March 30th closing. A title issue, maybe a loss of a job, maybe they no longer can get that 10% down because they were getting gift funds from a family member. And now we have to postpone that closing from March 30th to say April 15th. A good thing is that seller is going to be reassured that they're going to close on March 30th because now that backup plan of our private equity company is going to come in, buy the home on their terms, the contracted terms, to buy the home, allow the seller now to wash their hands, have that closing on March 30th. And then once that issue gets resolved, it could be a day later, it could be 4 days later, it could be 2 weeks later. But once it's resolved, now the buyer is going to be able to repurchase or purchase the home back from our private equity company based on their approved conventional financing terms.
Well, so it's taking all the risk out of this, right? I mean, it pretty much says to the seller, as you said, March 30th, that's the closing date. That closing date's going to happen no matter what. And then everything gets resolved in the aftermath.
So it's that reassurance and for the seller to be able to maybe accept your offer. And it allows the buyer to have a better chance of having that stronger support of moving their offer to the top of the pile because of that cash backup plan, aside of their, hopefully, like I said, if we can move through the regular financing, that's what we want to do. And that's hopefully what we can do. Now, again, if we can't, for whatever reason, you have that backup plan. You have that rich uncle that comes in and buys a house for you, and then now you're going to buy it back from the rich uncle.
It's nice to have a rich uncle.
Always.
Yeah,
Always.
it is. And it's fantastic that Annie Mac has that kind of family.
Yes, a lot of rich uncles.
We do appreciate that. So again, this cash offer, it's not a cash offer. I think people need to understand that. But again, your offer is as good as a cash offer. And in this particular market that we're living in, where houses are flying, where there's multiple offer situations again, this is your safety net for the seller, and it really goes a long way. Now,
yep.
The other program, let's talk about the buy now, sell later program, because again, I've over the years, and now this market especially, it's a little nutsy, so people are very concerned. Most of the time, someone who owns a home, they want to get their offer approved first, and then they're like, then you list my house, because they're concerned about oh my God, what if I have to sell my house first? I don't have a house yet, might have to rent a place, or it's a scary notion. I might have to carry two mortgages.
Right.
Buy now, sell later takes all that away as well.
Absolutely. So under the Cash the Keys umbrella, this is the other program, buy now, sell later, where you have a person who actually owns a home, but as you said, could maybe feel a little iffy if they're going to be able to sell it in time. They don't want to carry two mortgages. They don't want to, or they can't carry two mortgages. So they can't get approved for having two mortgages. This allows them, it's basically like a two-part process. Again, they're still going to get approved for their conventional financing or VA financing. They're going to come out of the underwriting department where that human being, the actual underwriter, is going to review their file, comb through it a fine-tooth comb. They're going to, again, the buyer and the real estate agent will jump on that home purchase coordinator call, kind of walking them through the steps of the process. Once they have that approval, they can go out and try to find the home of their dreams. Once they have that accepted offer, that's great news, because now that's where the fun begins, where now that our rich uncle, that private equity company, is going to come in and buy the house initially from the seller. The buyer is going to be allowed to move into the property. They accrue rent, and there's a formula, there's a calculation of that accrued rent payment, which eventually is going to come out of the proceeds from the home. So let's go back to the home now. So now you've got an accepted offer on the home that you like. You're going to be moving in. That gives you now the opportunity to list the home. And you could list it before. So now you're able to list the home. You're able to do whatever you want, stage it. Maybe you need to do some fixer-upper things that you want to help improve your sales price when you have that next seller come in to buy your house. So now you're in the home that you like, listing your house.
Yep.
Waiting for your offers to come in. There's a BPO that's done on the home, and there's a formula, there's a calculation on that to make sure that the proceeds are going to be there for you to eventually buy the home back. So let's go back. You listed the home, you got an approved offer, you sell your house. Again, those monies coming out of that sale is going to now be used for your conventional financing or VA financing to buy the home that you moved into from that private equity company. Your accrued rent, whether it's been 4 days, 14 days, 4 months, is again going to come out of the proceeds from your sale. Two-part process.
So that's, again, you're totally covered here. You're not at any risk of, because again, when you own a home and you have to buy a home, you usually use the Hubbard clause, and sellers don't really like Hubbard clauses. No, exactly. Everybody knows that.
Right. So again, how this puts your offer to the top of the pile is when the seller sees your offer, and if you have that Hubbard clause in there, they're like, we're sorry, Joe, we're not going to take your offer. We're going to take Mary's offer, because they don't need to worry about selling their home. So again, strengthening your file, putting it to the top of the pile to be able to get your offer approved.
So again, Chris, with both of these programs, you're going at it in a conventional method, but these are contingency plans. Again, when you are able to utilize these programs, that's why it's important for agents to get with Chris Sawyer, come for a learning session and learn about these programs, because And everybody I'm talking to is saying they're running into this feels like the pandemic again, as far as,
Right.
again, really low inventory. So if you want to list your home, now's the time. Happy to do that for you. And if you're looking to buy, I'm telling you, these programs um, from Annie Mac Home Mortgage are just, again, going to put you, as Chris said, at the top of the pile. And that's,
Yep.
in these multiple offer situations, you do need every advantage you can get, and these are just two really great programs.
Absolutely. Like I said, it gives you an advantage uh, to potentially, and sometimes you might even win out over a cash offer that might be coming in there. You just never know. But again, if you can give yourself more outlets, more backup, more support, strength, however you want to say it, to get your offer accepted, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, again, hearing from so many people that are losing out on offers, my goodness, I've been in situations where you don't even done walking through the house and they're like, I love it, I'm interested, and we start talking numbers, and you get a message from the other
Yep.
agent, hey, sorry, offer accepted. I mean, it's sometimes it's that bad. So again, if you get an opportunity to make an offer, you do want to be able to put the best offer forward that you can.
Right. And yeah, absolutely, you want to put your best foot forward. We're going to do a little more due diligence in the beginning, as I mentioned. You're not just going to do the regular, hey, let me get your documents, your income documents, let's run your credit, and let's run it through an automated program. That we can still do that. Obviously, that's very easy, very simple. This one, a little more due diligence, where again, full application, full income documents, filling up that application, and it's going to go to our underwriting department, who's going to be assigned to your file. But they're going to, go through everything to make sure that we can issue that platinum pre-approval so that you're good to go. And then once you do find your home accepted offer, that underwriter who was initially looking at your file is going to have it back in their hand once the offer, and now we have an address to kind of link to that approval. Whereas before, we technically don't have an address. It always goes in as a TBD, to be determined.
Yeah.
But then we fill in the blank of that address, goes back to Mr. or Mrs. Underwriter, and now they're familiar with their file already. So generally has a tendency to close a little quicker because they had that familiarity with the file. They've already reviewed it and underwrite it, from top to bottom. So there's no pop-up issues that come up that could hinder a closing, regardless of the program.
There's, I think, nothing worse than finding the home that you visualize yourself and your family in, and you're excited about it, and you put in your offer, and your offer falls short for whatever reason, and it's not even not making a strong enough offer money wise. In a lot of these cases, it's the different contingencies with financing or home inspections, which is something we saw getting waived a lot, which is crazy. So yeah, to be able to put in a stronger offer is really what we're after here. It's a great program for Annie Mac Home Mortgage. Do you want to tell people how they can get in touch with you, how they can learn more about the program?
Yeah, definitely can reach out to me. I'm in Cromwell, Connecticut. Cell phone 860-878-8730. Or you can email me, Csawyer@annie-macmac.com. So first initial, last name at annie-mac.com.
Yeah, it's our information's across the bottom of the screen. You can get in touch with either one of us just by utilizing that information. Again, both of these programs are available. If you're a real estate agent, have some lunch with this guy. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
And is a former baseball player.
Yeah, we can talk baseball as it's coming up, spring training, pitchers and catchers.
Yeah, he's a blast to be around. Annie Mac Home Mortgage has a really good guy here who really knows his business. If you're looking to buy, again, these programs will go a long way towards making a much stronger offer. I'd be happy to help you draw that up with this guy.
And just a couple quick points to touch on again. It is for single family homes and condos. So right now, not multifamilies, primary residence. So it's not for investment properties where you're looking to rent it all out, where you're not living in it. So single families, condos, primary residence, conventional and VA financing. So unfortunately right now, no FHAs, no USDAs, no renovations right now. Second homes are available for conventional financing. So those are the kind of little quick tidbits of the type of homes and like condo, single families, primaries, like I said, no investment properties, and conventional and VA financing.
That's terrific. Yeah. Chris, thank you for bringing these to our attention.
Happy.
No, I know you are. I know you are. You love showing this stuff off, and Annie Mac Home Mortgage, just to me, continues to do really cool stuff for their agents and with that their clients. I mean, it's just sort of at the forefront of thinking. You know, again, when the market changes like it has, and it's really changed drastically. Yeah. It's nice to have a company, I assume, that's always sort of
progressive and proactive.
Yeah.
Try to, have that partnerships with our agents, our brokerages that we work with and build off of that, but to be like ahead of the game and kind of be, trendsetters or what have you. But this is kind of an out of the box game changer, kind of getting ahead of the game of how can agents close more deals? How can sellers get more offers closed? How can we close more deals, and how can more buyers get into homes?
Yeah, it really is. It's a process. It's getting a lot more difficult these days. You want a program that gives you all the advantages, and you want to use a mortgage guy who knows his business.
Right.
Chris Sawyer, always great to have you.
So, thanks for having me.
No, I appreciate it. And again, all the information you need right across the bottom of the screen. For Chris Sawyer, I'm Joe Aguiar. We thank you so much for watching this edition of the Closing Time Podcast.
Apps can do a lot of cool things. You could order dinner, gamble on your favorite team, and track your health. You could even get a mortgage. One click and you can be approved. I'm not sure by who or what country they're in. You deserve more from the mortgage industry. At Annie Mac Home Mortgage, we believe in the need for live human interaction during a very complex process. The kind of service and guidance which an app simply can't provide. Our customers are more than credit scores and income documents. They're individuals and families who live in and strengthen our communities. Their story is our story, and that story begins in a home. Chris Sawyer is an expert on providing superior customer service and in meeting the mortgage needs of current and future homebuyers. With over 18 years of experience in the industry, Chris is able to help customers migrate through the home buying and home financing process by using his wealth of knowledge as a well-qualified mortgage professional. And best of all, Chris is located in Cromwell, Connecticut, where he has helped hundreds of clients in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island make their dreams of homeownership a reality. Visit chrissawyer.annie-mac.com. Email him at csawyer@annie-mac.com or give him a call, 860-878-8730.
Chris Sawyer, NMLS number 39345, corporate NMLS number 338923. Annie Mac Home Mortgage, an equal housing lender. American Neighborhood Mortgage Acceptance Company, LLC. DBA Annie Mac Home Mortgage. Lo-Fi Direct. Connecticut First Mortgage Correspondent. License Lender. Broker number ML 338923. Massachusetts Mortgage Lender and Mortgage Broker License number MC 338923. Rhode Island License Lender. License number 201128110L. Call for additional details.